Many people assume reading books aren't important at all, but they don't really know much, and I don't really blame them. I used to think reading wasn't actually. I never used to think reading wasn't important. I used to always read when I was younger. I used to read books like manga, comics, stories, novels, nonfiction. I used to always love reading, and a lot of people think that reading is not worth it or valuable, but they don't know a lot of things. And I just want to go over a few reasons why reading is extremely valuable. So the first thing, when you're reading like fantasy books, one, it just really helps you feel better and just makes you in a better mood. Now you can go watch whatever you want, but if you was reading something like a comic or manga, some and comics, they have extremely good life lessons and extremely great art. And not only that, a lot of them will motivate you to do things. I used to read a manga called Fight Class 3, highly recommend it, and it's the main reason why I'm trying out a bunch of different martial arts. And there's a lot of good manga out there you should read, like Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, or like some manga they're just for the genres, they're just weird stuff. But other manga, they're generally great stories. And I suggest that if you want to read manga, you should always do it right before you go to bed. Because when you read like a fancy book, it helps you sleep more because you can just go to sleep thinking about fantasy instead of thinking about, oh, what am I going to do tomorrow on this. So yeah, that's a really good reason why reading fantasy books really help. There's also like books like novels like Percy Jackson or Harry Potter. Those books are extremely good as well because when you read those type of books, I think they're better because it helps you use your imagination more when you're reading. Because reading is supposed to help you imagine stuff and think. Not supposed to see pictures, but you can also see pictures as well. Whatever floats your boat. And then as for nonfiction books, you really learn a lot from them. Most people underestimate what nonfiction books can do to you. Like I have a few books here. I have like Oxygen Adventures, Relentless, Conscious Leadership, Meditations, The Way to Superior Man. And any time you want to read a book, people don't really think it's valuable, but they don't realize that once you read a book that you're actually curious about, one, it's fun, and two, you actually learn. Like let's say you wanted to read about a book about dogs, but you said, no, I'm already reading a book about lizards. I have to finish that book. You're not going to enjoy reading because you have to finish that book. That's why I always say and recommend that you should read any book that you currently want to read. You shouldn't try to force yourself to read a book that you're not currently interested in. Let's say one week I'm interested in a book about finance, and the next I'm interested in a book about sleeping. I don't have to say, oh, I'll finish this book, then read. I can just go over to the sleeping book. Most people don't think it's okay to read multiple books at a time, but it's extremely okay. There's no problem with that. And as I was saying, most people never read a book in their lives, and most people don't even know how to read. They'll read like a sentence or two, and once they finish reading that sentence, they'll be like, wait, what was that sentence about? And I think a lot of people hate education and think it's the same as school. Education and learning and school are very two different things. School is done forcing you to memorize certain stuff for a test to memorize new stuff the next week. Education is learn something new that will be valuable to you. Like let's say I'm really struggling with my sleep lately. If I read a book while you sleep and they gave me a key tactic like the one I just talked about, fantasy, right? Then I'd be like, oh, that's actually makes sense. And when I tried it and it would work, it would improve my life. So that's how you got to try to implement books. Think about something that your mind is currently on or something that you could get better help on and read that book. And it doesn't always have to be nonfiction. All you have to do is pick up any book. As long as you pick up a book, you're ahead of 99% of people because it shows that a lot of those, they don't read no books. Kids too. All you have to do is pick up one random book in your house. It doesn't matter what. Read a sentence, a page, even a word. As long as you start reading something and actually get started, you'll be ahead of 99% of people who never even started reading a book in their life. I just wanted to make a quick video about reading, and I think it should really help you. So yeah, see ya, man.